The most emotional part for me always is this sequence with Sans. Oh gosh, okay, let's just get on with this. When you step off of the elevator, you enter a long corridor filled with golden light. I love this place. It's so beautiful. There are stone pillars of creamy gold with chiseled designs lining up the corridor. The tile floor is mosaic with a beautiful swirling motif, and all along the walls are windows that filter in a golden light. It reminds you of a golden hour on the surface with how softly warm it is. It has a tall ceiling, tall enough that with each step you take, it makes an echo. What a pretty place. And it looks like you aren't alone. You see Sans, and your heart skips a beat. A surge of happy butterflies merrily dance in your stomach, and you cannot stop the smile on your face as you quicken your pace to meet him. Then you notice something. Something is off. Wrong, even. You slow down until you stop. You are more than a dozen steps away from him. You want to go to him, but something holds you back. You look at him. He has a sharp, toothy grin on his face, but you don't see any warmth to it. His scarlet eyelights are burning as they meet your indigo eyes. The butterflies have turned into knots, and you hesitantly smile at him. Knock, knock. His grin becomes crooked. That's better. That feels more genuine. Who's there? Ben. Ben who? Been thinking about you all day. For a few seconds, his face looks pained. Then that sharp grin is back, and you can't read him anymore. It hurts you more than you expected. He says in a quiet voice, I know, sweetheart. You take a step forward, and he steps back. Your brows froze. You know, Sans shifts his weight side to side. I saw you on that show. You perk up. You were great, he says. Real cute. Real sweet. Real believable. Red beads of sweat start to form on his forehead. I want to, you know? I want to. His grin stretches over his face. It stretches so wide it hurts to look at you. You know he's forcing it. Why is he upset? You're real sweet, he says. Real sweet. Think you'll dream of me when you're sleeping? You tell him yes. Huh. I hope it'll be a nice one then, he says. Then you are impaled straight through the head. It's an instant, painless death. You have died. Sweet dreams, sweetheart. You stumble out of the elevator with wide eyes. He killed you. He killed you? Why? You see Sans there at the end of the hallway. You raise a hand to your forehead, where he'd impaled you with something for an instant death. Ah, he says when he sees you. You're back. No, I was remembering stuff today. You're one of them special humans. Guess I shouldn't have expected less from my sweetheart. Fucking just my luck. He knows? How does he know? His golden tooth glints in the warm light as he smirks. You ain't the first, and you won't be the last human with a soul strong enough to hang on after death. He tilts his head. He stretches out his arms wide. Over 100 humans have come to Underfell. Not one has made it out alive, despite their specialness. Can you guess why? You shake your head. Papyrus has captured 20 humans and killed 2, and Jai has killed 15 and captured 5. Who do you think handled the rest? Your stomach drops, and you feel cold sweat on the back of your neck. You don't want to say it out loud. You don't want to consider it, but your mind has already made the conclusion. Allow me to reintroduce myself, sweetheart. He gives you a mocking bow. I am Sans Gaster, the judge. I've encountered 60 humans, and I've killed 60 humans. Sans straightens up, and his sharp, toothy smile is cold. I've seen them come through the rings, and if they're weak enough, I let them through. Want to give Paps a chance to have fun, you know? Like any other good brother. But the ones with levels, I take care of them. And the ones who are weak and slip through, I clean them up here, in this hall. My hall. He puts his hands back in his pocket. You ask Sans, why was his name redacted in the boss monster book? He stares at you for several long seconds. I guess it wouldn't hurt to tell you. It's simple. No one wants to be the judge. He points to himself. But I got the lucky draw because my magic's special. You give him a small smile. You insinuated that you were drawn to him right away. You knew he was special. Not that kind of special. One look for in the data mine, sweetheart. He chuckles mercilessly. My attacks, my magic costs 10 pains for certain chums. Specifically anyone with level. Yeah, know what level is? You shake your head. Figures, you're at 0, so why would you? Level means level of violence, he says. It's tracked by your soul. You raise it when you gain XP. XP, I mean execution points. He rolls his weight to the back of his heel. We were sealed. The judge acted as the judge and executioner for the kingdom. Citizens up for trial get a taste of a judge's magic. Their pain sealed by their fate. You ask Sans if he is the judge and executioner. Yep, he says. The previous one was my old man. I got his magic when he dusted, so I took his place. You're sorry to hear that. Why? He asks. Not gonna change what's gonna happen to you. It's always terrible when kind people feel they have to do unkind things. He grimaces. You don't know shit. Stop talking like that. You understand why no one would want to be the judge. You ask him if he wants you to keep quiet about it. You've got nerve thinking you're getting out of here alive. He mutters crossly. You feel good about your chances. You reinstate your question. It's not something I advertise, he reluctantly admits. People get wary around the title. Most monsters think my pop was the lost one. Does his brother know? One of them, he says vaguely. It's really only people who need to know. Oh, you assure him you will not bring it up to anyone else without checking with him first. You really think you're getting out of here? You know you will. I was tempted to let you go, darling, he says. Really was. You know, but when I saw you on that show, and well, his grin seems self-deprecated. Now I can't. Fuck you. You were impaled straight through the head. This time you saw something red, but it was too fast for you to process. You died. Fuck you for making me do this. You take a deep breath when you step off the elevator. Welcome back, honey, he mocks when he sees you. Did you have a good day at work? You tell him it's been a long day at work. You would love to relax with him. Shit, babe, that does sound nice, huh? Yeah, it does. You suggest they could watch a movie together. Uh-huh, he goes. No. Oh, biscuits. You tell him you don't want to fight. I know, he says. That's the fucking issue. You're about to respond, but you see him raise his right hand. A sharp, jagged bones are conjured in the air around him, and they shoot straight at you, instantly impaling you through the head. It's almost an instant death. You've died. I actually liked action too. I know you do, Sans. I know. You paid attention to that. I'm sorry. I don't want to make you kill me. I feel so bad. He's going to feel so guilty. When you step off the elevator this time, you clench your hands tightly into fists and march with a purpose. Stars above, stop coming back, he complains. No, he needs to stop killing you. You want a threat. The hell you ain't a threat. You're a huge threat. You feel a strange sensation grip your soul. It's like there's a tight hand around you, and you were lifted off the ground. You barely have time to gasp when you were slammed with incredible force against the ceiling, and you return to goo and instantly died. You've died. Stay dead. No, you refuse. You will not die. You will not attack. You shout that at Sans the second you step off the elevator. Fine! He snarls back. We're doing this the hard way, baby doll. You want to know how I stop special humans from coming back? I break them. Your soul is ripped out of your chest and you are slammed into the ceiling again, and you've died. Please stay asleep. You won't sleep yet. You step off the elevator, you've died. You stepped off the elevator, you died. You stepped off the elevator, you died. You died, you died, you died, you died. You've died. You keep on dying. Sans huffs when you walk into the hall. You're still going? Fuck, you're determined. Yes, you are. You are filled with... Sans has summoned a bone from behind you to pierce the back of your head, and you died. Go to sleep. You sprint out of the elevator and roll to avoid the attack. It's the first time you've managed to survive this opening attack in his many deaths. He makes an annoyed noise. Stars above. You ain't making this easy. You explain that you certainly hope not. You tell him you don't understand why he's doing this. You want to threat. You would never hurt him or any other monster. That ain't the issue, he says. Your belief is what's dangerous. Huh? You think because you're nice the other humans would be too? It ain't how it's going to be, sweetheart. Over 100 humans have fallen in here, and you're the first one to not attack or scream at us, he says. You're the exception, not the rule. The barrier comes down, it's going to lead to another war. He can't know that for sure. And yet you can't know it won't happen, he says. Yes, you can. You know it won't. That there is why you're damn dangerous, he snaps. The propaganda is lethal. Out there giving them hope when there ain't any. Yeah, there is. There's always hope for a better tomorrow. And that better tomorrow is finally right. Humans and monsters can live in peace together. Bullshit! Humans have been living and growing and fucking for centuries, but as monsters, we've become stagnant. We ain't got the space to expand our population, so we stopped. We know humans outnumber us to 100 to 1. You break the barrier and it'll be a slaughter. You argue that won't happen. Humans have changed. It's cute for you to think that. he says. Stupid. Real fucking stupid, but cute. You feel the grip on your soul tighten, and you can't move an inch from his magical grip around your soul. Stop coming back, he hisses. He impales you through the head. You've died. You linger in the elevator for a moment. Staying in the elevator won't change anything, but you need a moment to recollect yourself. You've died 57 times. Can I point out, that's a lot less. We normally would have died up to 70 times in Sansa's route. And Papyrus is like 170 something at this point. So he's actually killed me less in this route because I mean so much to the two boys. All of Sansa's kills have been instantaneous, and you've not felt any pain from these deaths, but it's disorienting to go through the golden hallway to darkness and back within seconds. You take a breath. You run your fingers through your long hair. You can do this. It won't be easy, but you can do this. You slap your cheeks and march out. Oh, fuck me, he says when he sees you. Do me a favor, sweetheart. Stop coming back. I got better things to do with my time than killing you. You take a step forward and remain firm. You think you can just out-stubborn me? Sans laughs. You think I'll just throw in the towel if you keep coming back? That ain't how this is going to work, toots. I will break you. You continue to walk forward, and he glares at you the entire time. You make it a few steps, and then feel the magical grip on your soul. Stop it, he says. You ain't gonna win this one. You won't give up. Why? He asks you. You don't know us. You don't know me. You got no reason to try so hard. You raise your chin. It's common sense to help someone who needs it. He flinches. We don't need help. You gesture out the window to the city below. The monsters inside speaking for themselves. You feel their pain. You feel their isolation. You feel their stagnation. They deserve to feel the sun. You tell Sun he deserves to feel the sun. Also, it's not like I have an option, Sans, where I can just choose to stay in the underground with you because Papyrus told me I need to leave because it's too dangerous for me. And you won't even let me leave because... Actually, I don't know. Why didn't you just let me go out through the barrier then? But he's like, no, I need to kill you here and now. I guess he's worried that I'm going to come back again later and then, like, inspire them more. Either way, Sans man, freaking listen to me. A shudder goes through him. His eyelids waver in his sockets and he screams back, the fuck do you know? His grip on your soul tightens and he throws you back. It's not death, but it creates a purposeful distance. He snarls with Valmin's voice. I see you talking to you is useless. Fine, if you won't listen to reason, then I'll do it the old-fashioned way. I ain't gonna stop or slow down, sweetheart. Give up when you're ready. When you're done. You've died. It was over too quickly to even realize what happened. You blinked and barely opened your mouth to speak when you died. It was over too quickly. You're back and you blink once for just to the light, and it was over too quickly. You realize you return, you've died. All of your deaths have been so instantaneous, you've not been able to register the pain before you're brought back to life. You're back to life too quickly to even feel his soul. But it's obvious what's going on. He doesn't want to cause you pain. All you can do right now is wait it out. That's fine. You can do this. You can wait for him. Because you love him. You've lost count how many times you've died. You keep dying and coming back until 1 minute, day, you don't know. Sans stares at you, his red eyes glowing bright. There's enough power behind his left eye that it is generating its own aura, a flickering flame of burning yellow and red. You're fucking stubborn, he says. Always be nice and all, since you didn't hurt anyone, but not anymore. That was him being nice? You are bluntly impaled through both of your feet, red bones sticking out from the floor and pinning your feet to where you stand. Immediate pain shoots up through you. Your reflexing cry in agony as more bones pierce through your shoulders and into one of your arms. This must be so horrible for Sans because, like, he has feelings for you up to this point in this route. It must be so hard for him to hurt someone that he cares about. Or that someone that his brother cares about so strongly, because he knows if Papyrus finds out, Papyrus is not going to be happy with him. Chunks of your flesh fall onto the floor, and you can see bits of your bones sticking out in places they should not be. Pain. That is the only thing you can process. Dilapidating, agonizing, horrific pain. It hurts. It does not burn. It is not cold. It is not tearing. There is no sensation other than pain. Your whole body involuntarily shakes, and you think you will die from the intestinal agony. Yet you're not allowed death. Nothing has hurt so much before. There is no compassion to this torture. No death comes close to this purposeful torment you are currently enduring. Pain. That is all you can process. Your soul is beautiful. Your loyalty is unwavering. You are the starlight they need. You are you. And you alone are enough to conquer this pain. Your determination flares through you. The world becomes muted. You stop trembling. You think again. Twinkle is Twinkle. You are you, and you are in a cage of bones. Blood drips down your limbs. Sans slowly walks towards you until he's close enough to touch. Hurts, doesn't it? He says softly. His red eyelids and his eye sockets trembling. More will be coming, sweetheart. Lots more unless you stop. Don't come back. He's finally close to you. He's finally in reach, and you can feel his soul. Although it remains hidden from sight, you reach out a hand to touch his cheek. You tell him, knock, knock. Your whole arm trembles from the gashes dug inside. You can't even close your hand into a fist because of the torn ligament. Your palm is drenched in blood. Sam meets your gaze, and he seems to brace himself for something. Your gentle touch is not what he's expecting. As soon as you cup his cheeks, you see an array of emotions rapidly cross his face. Surprise, horror, disdain, remorse. You whisper, knock, knock. You're so fucking stupid, he whispers. A bone shoots up from the floor and pierces your heart. It is a long death. You don't die immediately from a broken heart. You still feel the pain of every injury previously inflicted, although dull due to your soul. And then all of that is doubled when you realize you can no longer catch your breath. Your sucking in the air does nothing. The agony in your chest prevents you from doing anything. You keep your hand on his cheek. You give him a smile, and you see in his eyes you aren't the only one with a broken heart. It's the last thing you can do before you've died. You have died. Who's there? Please be you who's there. When you're alive again, he starts yelling at you. What the fuck? You want me to really hurt you, huh? You think I won't? You think I'll just let you go if you keep up at it? That ain't gonna work? So stop. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. He clutches his skull, red sweat dripping off him. Stop it, stop it, stop it, you idiot, you dumbass, fuck you. Sans distressed. Red magic blazes off of a malicious aura. A graveyard of bones shoots in random directions from the floor. You do your best to dodge the chaotic attack. Thankfully, you've gotten pretty good at keeping yourself alive thanks to your previous encounters. Or maybe it's just the air in Underfell. You've never had to fight for your life on the surface, so you don't have any experience to compare it to. Fuck, 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 he chants. He bends over and holds his skull, and you can feel his soul is in knots even at a distance. Your chest feels tight. His soul yearns to reach out to him. Your loyalty propels you to make that first step. You move forward, and a huge push of raw magic makes you stumble, but you continue. You duck beneath a wild attack. You sidestep a surge of bones. You're almost there. The hallway is filled with a white light, and it overtakes Sans. You can almost reach him. I'm done, he screeches, abruptly straightening up. Two white dragon skulls things with 4 red glowing pulsing eyes materialize above him. You can feel the air humming with magic as red light builds in their mouth. You are close enough to Sans to do something. You freaking tackle him and use your own special attack before the gaster blasters goddamn disintegrate you. You tackle him and use your entire body weight to pin him to the ground. He barely has time to let out an oomph when you grip either side of his skull and proceed to plant kisses all over his face. The dragon skull things immediately vanish above you. He freezes, his body stiffens in complete stupefied silence. You make it all the way to the 10th kiss before his brain unthaws and he realizes, What the fuck are you doing? He screeches, shoving you violently off him. His cool skull has turned a bright red and he scrambles to pull his hood up. You can no longer see his face as he turns his body away from you. Are you fucking insane? You're crazy. You died one too many times. You're a dumbass. Why would you think that was a good idea? You tell Sans that you like him. His head surrounding you. You can see the red eyelids in his sockets have gone out in shock. And his whole skull is tinged red from magic overload. It's only a brief look because Sans quickly turns back away. You're crazy, he utters. Absolute batshit insane. I killed you a lot. You remind Sans that you're alive right now. That's not the point! You scoot closer to Sans and kiss the top of his head. He convulses away from you, frantically scrambling to put distance between the two of you. Stop that, he snaps. You apologize for making him uncomfortable. You hope he'll at least be willing to talk things out with you, instead of, murdering you repeatedly. And if I don't, you just get gently touch him on the face and kiss, do dumb shit, he demands. You say you'd happily do that without him killing you repeatedly. He flinches. You smile at him. Stop. You tell him you like him. You shouldn't, he says quietly. And yet you do. You say you think he'd like the surface. Probably, he agrees with a mumble. You want to see a sunrise with him. His whole body sags. He hangs his head in his hands. Just go. You scooch closer to him. Stop, he says. Leave before I change my mind. Nah, you got a better idea. Knock, knock. Sans gives a tired smile. Who's there? Ivana. Ivana who? I'm gonna kiss you again. He chuckles and you lean forward. He doesn't pull away this time, so you give him another kiss. He rests his head on your shoulder. He turns his head to press his mouth against your neck, and you can feel his hot breath tickle you. Knock, knock. He says quietly. Who's there? I want you. I want you who? Really? I want you too, he says, lifting his head up to give you a crooked smile. You laugh and press your forehead against his. I give up, he says. You win. If you say humans have changed. I want to believe in ya, so I will. If I'm wrong, he shrugs. Fuck it. At least I get to see the sun before I die. You reassure him you won't let him die. Maybe, he says. No, maybe. You promise him. Yeah, okay, he says. The two of you sit in silence beside each other for a long time until you remember the paper. You pull it out of your pocket. Where the fuck did you get this? He asks you. You recount your journey through the lab. You also admit that you met Wingeding. He what? Sans stares at you. In the void. He looks down at the paper. He seems to read it quickly with his eyelids moving rapidly. That dumbass! You ask Sans what it says. It's you really want to know? Yes, you do. He shrugs. Okay. I mean, in this scene, Sans not only right now, obviously, he's feeling guilty. He's killed us multiple times. He's dealing with the fact that we are dead set on having him as a lover, but on top of it now, he's learned that his brother, whom he has thought has just disappeared or has probably died at this point, he's alive. Or at least is stuck somewhere. So there's something else he's learned on top. Poor Sans, he's going through so many emotions. I'm also going through so many emotions. My whole entire body is currently shaking. My god. Anyway. Research shows a human soul is capable of entering the void. It causes an immense strain. Captured human souls have only been able to survive the void twice before evaporating. Infusing any magic in a soul has caused it to survive 5 times in a trip to the void. Testing with regular monster magic resulted in a 2-trip survival, magic provided by Alphys. Testing with another boss monster magic resulted in a 5-trip survival, provided by Sans. There seems to be an inheritance resistant to the void for boss monster magic, because Sans is related to Gaster. A human soul is still required to enter and leave the void, but the boss monster magic is required to survive it. I want to see what the humans see. I want to know what's in the void. And right now, like Gaster said, you need a human soul to be in the void, right, and to leave it. I think the difference by here is the fact that we're a live human, and that's what really makes the biggest difference in terms of like this stuff going on with Gaster, because we're a living soul. We're an actual person that's alive, whereas all these other probably examples have not been alive humans, but more of like they're already deceased and they use the human souls that way, probably, I'm guessing. But either way, this must have been written right for... He tried something. It's pretty messy, he says. He does that sometimes. Whenever he gets an idea, he barely remembers to write it down. He gets tunnel vision. Sans gives you a long look. He's in the void? You confirm he is. He okay? You aren't entirely sure. Dumbass, he says again. I hope you can hear me call him a dumbass. Dumbass! You offered to pass on the message. Do, Sans says. Because he's a huge dumbass, going into the void without any warning or backup. Didn't even think to tell anyone either from the look of how hastily scribbled the note is. Sans rubs his face. Ugh. You ask Sans if he knows how to help Wingedings leave the void. Not at the top of my head, Angel, he says. Maybe I can fingle something if I can look at his notes. Your eyes widen. Is Sans a scientist? I was, he says reluctantly. I worked with Wingedings before he went missing. Oh wow. What did Sans study? I was pretty good with machines and physics, he said. Helped Wingedings build the core. That's amazing. Sans is brilliant. A slight reddish hue forms under his eye sockets. Not really. You reassure him that he is. You ask what was the last project you worked on. It was a gun, he says. Space gun. Huh? Humans have been to space, right? He asks you. And you nod. He continues. And one of the humans that came came through, had a book about space. Wanted to try and replicate it here. Asgore wanted weapons, made a gun. Created a bubble of vacuum that was supposed to mimic space. Oh. Only used it once, he said. Gave the subject to Al to take a look at it. It was a long time ago. Oh god. Ugh. He rolls his shoulders. Humans got a lot of guns, don't they? You suppose civilians aren't allowed to own lethal guns. He smiled crookedly. What's a non-lethal gun? Water pistol. Paint gun. Wait, can you kill someone with a paint gun? I mean, you can still bash at people in the head with a gun. You don't necessarily need to shoot a gun for it to be lethal. You can just smack someone with it. You explain civilians can purchase a status gun if they pass their physics evaluation. It will put any living person in a status. They'll be immobilized but conscious. They're very expensive, however, because they're fueled by magic, which is a dying resource. Only the wealthy humans can have one. Do you have one? You never felt the need for one. You doubt you ever will. I can tell, he says. You're too soft for your own good. You give him a smile. A sly smile. You think he likes your softness? Shut up, he says, the crimson hue under his eye socket spreading further across his skull. Don't get too smug. Yeah. Awfully carefully with someone who's killed you a lot, he mutters. You can't see his face, but his skull feels warm under your cheek and you nuzzle him. After a long moment, he leans into you. Only indulging out of pity, he grumbles. Mm-hmm. Whether you like it or not, you're part of my harem, Sans. Don't look into it. Mm-hmm. Sans falls quiet. For once the silence doesn't feel uncomfortable to you. Rather, it seems nice. Your light filters through the golden tinted windows is warm, and you can feel Sans breathing beside you in his soul. While hidden, he's near yours. Comfort settles over you. You enjoy the moment. You hope you can have many more moments with him. That's that, he says, pulling away from you, and he stands up in a fluid motion and he tugs his hood up. I gotta go. Where to? The boss first, he says. Don't face Asgore without me. Sit tight and don't move. Where was Asgore exactly? He'll be in the throne room. He's always in the throne room. He's not always in the throne room. I'd call bull on that. Because he ended up being behind me in the freaking corridor I was walking down. So that's absolute malarkey from you freaking skeletons. And then you had to go on me for facing him. In my defense, I didn't go looking for him. He found me. So, I am innocent in all this. I didn't know he was walking around. You all told me he was literally just stays in the throne room. He didn't stay in the throne room. He went and did something opposite from what you all told me. Whatever. He says, if you really want to stretch your legs, go ahead. Just stay out of the throne room. You agree to that. Good. I'll be back as soon as I can. Sans says, you ask him what's wrong? Nothing, he says. Just anticipation. Getting scolded by the boss. He offers you a half smile. See you later, Angel. He's gotten a shimmer of red, and you've completed Judgment Hall. Oh god, you've come so far, and you only died 71 times. A lot of that is from Sans. Like, most of it was from Sans. Let's see. By writing from the epilogue, or he will tattle on him. You are pursuing multiple skeleton monsters, and are somehow still alive. Wow! Okay, so now we're gonna go and face Asgore. Okay. Alright. Oh gosh, this is gonna be something, isn't it? But I am curious. Okay, so just to recap, when spoiler warnings... Well, actually, if you're watching this place in the correct order, you won't be spoiled. Probably, hopefully it won't be. Either way, as I've said before, when you play Sans' route, Sans comes to protect you. When you play Papyrus' route, Papyrus and Sans come to protect you. So, I don't know what happens when it's both of them. Is there a difference, like how this is done? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Let's go fight Asgore. Okay, so we're now inside the castle and we are exploring a little bit. We've heard whispers off to the side and we're about to enter a door. So let's open it. Creak. The white light illuminates what appears to be a small bedroom. There is one bed pushed off to the side. You see toys scattered on the floor and a toy chest filled with a brim with stuffed animals at the end of the bed. There is a dresser at the back wall. There are photos lying along it, and you step close into it, intent on looking at the pictures as you feel a tug on your sweater. You look behind you. There's nothing there. You frown. You feel something small and cold grasp your hand, and you freeze. By the time you turn your head to look, you see nothing there. But there is something in your hand now. A golden locket. Your indigo eyes widen as you realize this is the locket to go with the chain. You pull the chain out of your pocket and sure enough it's a perfect fit for the clasp. Oh, how romantic. The locket falls out of style before you were even born, but you've seen it in movies and read about them from books. They're supposed to be used to carry pictures of someone you love, or at least someone who is in your heart. It's a warm sentiment, and you hold the locket in your hand. You can't help but think of certain monsters inside. Wouldn't it be nice? Click! There is a clicking sound from the locket. You unfurl your hand and it pops open and your eyes widen. There are 3 monsters inside. I was right! The harem route is for the 3 skellies! On the left is Papyrus, who is beaming with joy, and in front of him is a happy Sans. And on the right is a skeleton monster from the video you watched in the lab. The one who... You knew in the back of your mind there was a good chance that he and Wingerdings were the same. You think the locket confirms it, or it's a very crazy coincidence the magic locket pops open and shows you that picture. You knew it, yet you still thought of him anyway. Your heart warms and you hold the locket close to you, your lips turning up in a smile. You hope you'll all make each other happy. You start from the whisper and you look around, but you don't see anyone. You thank them for the chain and locket. You think it's time to leave, the most definitely haunted room now, and you return to the hallway. Thank you. You're welcome. You look back at the locket. You wonder if perhaps Wingerdings has made any progress. While you're strongly resenting the void, you will have the opposite feelings for Wingerdings, and that is enough to make you go back in. You first leave the hallway and you have no desire to rest against some dusty wall and head back to the front room. You take a deep breath and steady yourself and then fall into the void. Oh, I'm going in the void? Okay, why am I going in the void? The hands are on you in an instant, and they grip your face, your arms, your sides, your hips, and your legs. Hello, dear human. The distorted voice bounces in your head as you sink further into wrongness. You think it's gone easier to hear the voice, however. It takes you a moment to find your voice in the sea of cold, inky blackness, and you ask Wingerdings if he has any idea on how to free himself. Yes, that's great. Is this something you can do? Yes, I need your help. He's got it. What does he need? We must first go to the barrier, and then I will need to borrow your soul for a brief period of time. You shiver as he talks. The void presses on you in every direction and is almost too much. You do your best to bear with the discomfort. You'd like a little bit more of an elaboration on that. I will use the power of the barrier to free myself, but a human soul is required to enter and leave the void. I need yours as a beacon. That makes sense, you think. It's getting harder to focus the longer you linger, and you agree. The barrier is behind the castle. Take the hole on the left and follow the path. Do not cross the barrier. There is an extra enchantment. You like to ask more, but your soul aches from the voice touch. You must leave. You gasp for air as soon as you leave. You dry heave, retch, and shudder from the lingering effects. Biscuits, you hated it there. You breathe. You breathe through your nose and out of your mouth. 1 breath, 2 breaths, a third. You no longer feel sick. The left hallway, he says, and so down the left hallway you go, and you walk down the left hallway. Okay, we're gonna go there. Okay then, I guess I'm just gonna read through this then. As you walk down the hallway, you admire the paintings. All of them are hand-painted and depict pretty environments. They range from mountains to oceans to the night sky, and you wonder who painted them. There are candlesticks in the wall, and a crimson flame flickers to life as you walk past them. They must be the magical equivalent to altar lights. How neat. You'll have to have one of your own one day. This hallway, you are pleasant to notice, is not covered in dust, grime, and cobwebs. At the end of the hallway is a door, and you push it open and a pleasant surprise to find a magical garden. Beautiful yellow, white, and orange flowers bloom around a brick path. There are tall trees with golden leaves and orange-coloured rose bushes. There are lampposts with yellow-tinted magic crystals. There are lights mimicking that of the sun, although it is without warmth. You follow the path. You take the time to stop and smell the flowers. The path winds around the castle and is built further into the cave, and then you see something strange, and you think that it must be the barrier. Noise hums around you as you approach. When you are close enough to get a proper look, you see a wall of white. It must be the barrier. Wingeding said it's at the back of the castle, which is where you are now, and it's a little wall of humming white light blocking an entire cave. The next step is to let Wingedings borrow your soul. Oh, biscuits, you have to go back in the void. But this could be the last time. You fervently hoped. You don't give yourself time to warm up. You're excited to be done with the void forever, so you fall straight in and into the arms that you've come to know so well. You slide into a pool of darkness and tell Wingedings that you're at the barrier. Thank you, my dear. You ask him what he needs you to do next. Please, show me your soul. There's something you can do. You're actually really good at it now, and you present your soul. The hands move to grasp it. Oh, you want to flinch away from their touch. It's ice on bare skin. It doesn't take away your soul, however. You're certain he wants to leave the void as much as you do, after all. The hands tighten around it, and you feel something. An echo of magic, perhaps? There's a reverberance of noise in your mind. First tangled and messy, but not for long. The sensation of being enveloped entirely by the faint magic, and you no longer feel the wrongness of the void, only the magic. His magic. Wingedings. You sink into it, body and soul. Good this may, he cuts himself off. There is a surge in his magic, and you catch an emotion that does not belong to you. Curiosity? Then you catch another. Surprise? And another. Delight. What is happening? My, what a big heart you have. Wingeding's voice feels different in your mind. While he has never been rude to you, the way he spoke to you just now feels different, warmer. You have room for free, aren't you greedy? The hands around your soul become gentle in their grip. That's okay, I'm greedy too. This'll only take a moment. The moment is over. Wait, did he... He can feel our emotions. Did he learn that, he's just discovered that we have a thing for Sans, Papyrus, and him. There's a warm breeze around your skin. Then you open your eyes and you're no longer in the void. The magic that enveloped you is gone, as is the barrier. Did it work? It did, my dear. You turn around to face the owner of the voice. He stands very tall as Papyrus, if not more. He's a dead ringer for the tall monster in the video you watched, and for the one whose face is inside your locket with Papyrus and Sans. The only difference is this monster has cracks in his face. One split from the top of his skull that goes through his right eye, and another crack from the left eye that goes down to his spiked mouth. This is Wingeding's Gaster. He gives you a bow. You make a move to step closer to him to greet him properly, but your legs give out from underneath you and you fall forward. Wingedings catch through these. There now, pulling a monster out of the void is taxing for a soul. Using the same soul to tunnel raw magic to accomplish that is doubly so. You should take it easy. You thank Wingedings for catching you. You do feel remarkably tired, like you'd finished a marathon. You look up at him and give him a smile. He returns you a smile. My, I'm the void. I could only see your soul. I thought it was too beautiful for this world, but now I see it simply imitates the flesh. Oh? You flirt back. You flirt back that he's much more handsome face to face. His smile curls forward and he pulls you to your feet and into him, resting one hand on the small of your back, with his other hand running his fingers through your tightly curled white hair. Thank you, he says, in a rumbly low voice. You saved me. Quietly thank him. He leans down and presses his forehead against yours. You feel his cool against your skin. Simply thanking you feels too little. You put your hands on his chest and tilt your head up to bump your nose into his face. You ask him what else he has in mind. I can think of several things, he purrs. What a ludicrous sight, states a deep voice. You hear the tut-tut noise from Wingedings as he lifts his head away from you to look at the owner of the voice. You also turn. It is another goat monster. He is massive in stature with grey fur. Oh god, it was Asgore. Oh no, he just saw his royal scientist infatuating with a human. Oh dear. Oh well, what a way for him to find out. He is massive in stature with grey fur, a black beard and dark armour that glints gold in the light. His red cape flutters behind him as he strides closer to you two. Hey, at least I don't have to fight. Do I have to fight him? Maybe I don't have to fight him. He wouldn't dare fight Gaster, right? Surely he's not going to fight Gaster. I wouldn't fight Gaster. Would he fight Gaster? Nah, he's not going to fight Gaster, eh? Nah, he's probably not stupid enough to do that. On his head is a 3-spiked gold crown. Hello, King Asgore, Wingeding says flatly. The king stares at the two of you for a moment, and he dryly asks, should I come back at a later time? Wingedings and you immediately say yes. The king softly scoffs. Now I understand why the human's been so confidently travelling through Underfell and how it managed to dissuade my royal guards. Oh, who? Wingedings cocks his head. Managing to seduce my top... Hey, hold on! Hold the phone! Hold it! Are you accusing me of going around flirting? I'm having a drink. I'm having a drink. Excuse you? Really? Really? You want to go there, Asgore? You want to go there? Now I understand why the human has been so confidently travelling through Underfell and how it managed to persuade my royal guards. Oh-ho, Wingedings cocks his head. Managing to seduce my top royal scientist explains it all. You must have... Wingedings lets out a loud ha. I came in much later, your majesty. Asgore raises a brow at that. There's no reason to be so attached. Return to my side, Gaster. We can restore the barrier by the end of the day. Wingedings rubs his right hand up and down your back. And give up her soul? I think not. Wingedings smiles coolly. Come now, your majesty. You're a smart monster. I am vastly a smarter monster. We both know where this is going. Do we really need to drag out the pleasantries? You've always been stupidly stubborn. When something catches your attention, says Asgore with a shake of his head. A pity now leads you to your dusting... What? Whoa! 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 Hold the phone! Whoa! Back up! You're not dusting Wingedings! No shit! You kidding? He's gonna dust him because... What the hell? Mama Tori! Israel, somebody step in! Asgore's going a step too far! He doesn't believe in the power of love! You know, the lowercase, capital L, lowercase O-V-E, not the other one. But you know what I mean? Attention feels too small of a word, says Wingeding. Do you honestly believe I'd fight you over something as meaningless as a passing fancy? Then what would you call this? The king gestures to you. Isn't it clear? There's only one thing with the fight, and we both know I don't care one way or another if you monsters stay underground or go to the surface. Make peace with humanity or go to war with humanity. It doesn't matter to me. All of it pales in comparison to my work. Asgore's yellow eyes narrow into slits. You cannot possibly mean to imply you have... In the process, Wingeding says, scintillantly. He waves the left hand in a dismissive manner. She's still young, but her soul speaks for itself. Oh. You kindly asked for an explanation. Apologies, my dear, says Wingeding. Humanity, do you mind? Asgore snorts derisively. This I have to hear. Wingeding moves his hands to your hips. He turns you to face him fully. He says, because you are you and I am me. We were able to find me in the void. For 20 years, no one else has been able to achieve this, yet you did. By accident, no less? Can you guess why? You shake your head. Wingeding smiles at you. My dear, do you know what a soulmate is? You do. You even read about the monster's perspective on soulmates in the lab. You happily nod. Good. Are you familiar with the term soul acceptance? Yes, you read about that. It's a test between two souls to check for compatibility as soulmates. You could find me. You were drawn to me, and I, you, because our souls have perfect compatibility, explain. Wait, does that mean... Is he implying you and Wingedings could be soulmates? Yes, he says, and that is something worth fighting for. Wow, but wait, you like him, definitely, but you also like Papyrus and Sans. You like a lot of skellies, okay? He chuckles. I'm aware, dear, he says. A soul as strong as yours is more than capable of bonding with more than one. There is a pause. If it were anyone other than my brothers, I wouldn't tolerate it. Lucky you. Yeah, this is why I thought it had to be it. Okay, so that explains it, why it has to be Papyrus and Sans and Gaster for the harem, because Gaster doesn't tolerate anybody else. So if it was Flowey, it wouldn't make sense. If it was Grillby, it wouldn't make sense. He only tolerates his family. Now it makes perfect sense. I'm so glad I thought it was the skeletons. Ring-a-ding smiles at you. It's almost expected, really. I do adore them, so it's only natural my companions adore them as well. He tilts his head. Albeit your affection stems from a different base. Asgore snorts. Enough! Regardless of your connection, it's time this comes to an end. If you insist, says Ring-a-dings. His smile doesn't look warm anymore. Wait, you didn't want them to fight. I couldn't have said it better myself, dear human. Tori strives through the garden. Her golden eyes are bright and she keeps her head held high. And she is not alone in her march. You see many monsters behind her. You see Frogget, Napstablook, the dogs from Snowdin, Shiren, the children of Warfall, Metatron and his staff, the royal guards with Papyrus and Dai at the lead, and even Sans is there. There's so many of them. They fill up the garden and surround you all. Enough is enough, says Toriel. Tori? King Asgore stares at her in blatant disbelief. You came back to me? No. She's coldly rebuffs. I came for the human, for Twinkle. She raises her chin and glowers on at Asgore. And for monster kind. You've taken it one step towards... You take one step towards that woman and Gaster and you will have to face me. And me, as Papyrus. The dogs howl in unison, each one holding up a stick, and Shiren sings. It's over, says Sans. He gives a toothy sharp grin. We're tired out, so unless you want to have a hell of a time. Ring-a-dings chuckles. My, looks like this will be even more one-sided than I expected. Asgore looks at the monsters around him. Not only them, says a familiar voice to you. The monsters part ways and make room for a new monster. He's a goat monster with bright golden eyes and red pupils like Tori and Asgore. Trailing behind him is Dr. Alphys. Ezreal? Tori gasps. Hi, says Ezreal. I wasn't expecting to see you, her mother. Tori rushes to him and immediately hugs him. Ezreal? Is that truly you? King Asgore's expression darkens to weariness. It is, he says awkwardly, patting Toriel's back. I see you still haven't trimmed that awful beard of yours. Asgore's eyes widen and he suddenly grins and strides forward. My boy, my son. One awkward family hug at a time, Ezreal complains. And besides, you were about to tempt my friend. Friend? You look between Ezreal and Dr. Alphys. Wait, Flowey? Howdy, Twinkle, says Ezreal. He gives you a grin. Glad to see you're okay. You are okay, right? Yes, you go to hug him, but you realize your legs are still tired and you require Ring-a-dings for support. Twinkle is fine, says Ring-a-dings, simply tired from a very long day. Good, says Ezreal. Mother, please let me go now. I need to talk to Father. Tori squeezes Ezreal and she reluctantly lets him go. Ezreal steps closer to his father. King Asgore. Father, it is time this feud with humanity comes to an end. It's time the monsters return to the surface. Ezreal. No. Ezreal cuts him off. This isn't an argument or something for debate. You won't win this. You can't win this. I understand. The war changed you. I know those memories are hard to let go, but it's time. Don't stop us. Twinkle has shown us that humans and monsters can be friends again. Let us try. Asgore stares at Ezreal. He smiles faintly. I cannot win this. Asgore looks at you. Human, no, Twinkle. You said the world does not need to be killed or be killed. Do you truly believe that? You meet his gaze. Yes, you do. It's not kill or be killed. It's save or be saved. And you smile at Asgore. It's time for him to be saved now. Then so it shall be. He utters quietly. The barriers are already destroyed. Together, let us leave. Yes, together. Ezreal immediately goes over to you and Ring-a-dings. Do you want me to carry you? He frets when you realize how tired you are. No need, says Ring-a-dings. I can. Ring-a-dings winces and sways. Oh, are you okay? He asks him. You're Dr. Gaster, right? Yes, Twinkle pulled me out of the void shortly before your father arrived, explains Ring-a-dings. We're both winded from that. We'll be fine. Simply need a moment. Just one? Drawls Sans. brother, explains Papyrus as he and Sans also head over to the two of you. You're back! Where were you? Experiment's gone wrong, he says. So sorry. He does not sound sorry. You're a fucking dumbass, Sans says flatly. And you're an impulsive, foul-mouthed brat, snaps Wingerding. You can't call me a brat. I will call you a brat so long as you act like a brat. Papyrus stomps his right foot on the ground. Stop fighting, gah! You tell Wingerdings perhaps he should catch up with his family. You want to check up on Azrael. Anyway, Wingerdings seems reluctant to let you go. His expression becomes very pinched. You reassure him that it'll only be for a brief period. Oh yeah, because Wingerdings say like he gets jealous and stuff, so he probably doesn't want us to go too far. Didn't miss your own brothers at all? Sans mocks. Hurtful. You're gonna make Pop cry. I will not cry, says Papyrus, his voice telling a different story. I am happy to have our brother back. There is no reason to cry. You gently tell Papyrus that that's a very good reason to cry. Thank you, human, but I am fine. He clears his throat several times, and you give Wingerdings a pointed look. I suppose I did miss you too, he says with an air of reluctance. Ezreal, if you would, please. Ezreal picks you up. Wow, he's strong. He beams at you. My friend. Your friend. You hug each other. Gah. You hear Wingerdings cry out from behind you. You pull away from Ezreal long enough to see that Sans body tackles Wingerdings to the ground with Papyrus, and Wingerdings looks severely displeased as he passes both of their backs. Wingerdings complains. You two are not children anymore. You're only 20. It's only been 20 years. Only? Sans starts to hit Wingerdings. You went into the fucking void, didn't even tell anyone, no warning, you just fucking gone, you jackass. For once I agree with Sans' temper, Papyrus says. Stop that, Sans. I'm tired and I can't circulate my magic to soften your blows, Wingerdings protests. Good. Why must your affection always be so violent? Pot meets Keckle, smarts Papyrus. What was that? Wingerding glowers. Let's give them some space, says Ezreal as he carries you away. How are you, Twinkle? Good. Excited for what's to come. Ezreal smiles to you and then he notices the locket around your neck. Oh, where'd you get that? A ghost child. What? Never mind. The matching locket shows you who's in your heart, says Ezreal. His smile softens. I used to have one matching one. May I see inside? You open the locket to show Ezreal the picture inside. Wow, he says. I think that's the first time I've seen 3 in one locket. You beam. Ezreal laughs. He bends his head down to affectionately nuzzle you. I shouldn't be surprised. You've got a big enough heart for it. I do have a locket similar to yours, but it's the only one. Maybe you can commission more. That seems like a great idea. I'll help you find someone who can make them, he says. That won't be a bother? No way. He leans down and presses forward against yours for a few seconds. I want you to be happy, Twinkle. You're my best friend. You tell Ezreal you feel the same. He's your best friend too. My dear one, says Tori as she and Asgore approach you. Are you ready? You and Ezreal exchange joyful looks. Yes, together you and the monsters leave the underground. You feel strong enough to walk as soon as you smell the fresh air. Ezreal gently sets you down and he keeps a paw on your shoulder in case you need help. I can take you from here, says Wingerdings. He quickly comes to your side, Sans and Papyrus close behind him. Ezreal looks to him. Are you sure? You reassure Ezreal. It's okay. He gives you a friendly nuzzle. Okay, call me over if you need help. Or want him gone. Wingerdings scoffs and pulls you close to him. You tell Wingerdings to be nice to your friend. I am being nice, he says. I don't share very well. That is very true, says Papyrus. He's a bastard, says Sans. Our bastard, but still a bastard. You like the word our. You, Papyrus, Sans, and Wingerdings move with the group. Step out of the cave and into the fresh air. It's dark outside, yet brightening with every second. You hear gasps from the monsters around you. You hear throat-back sobs. You hear oohs and ahs and whimpers and hiccups. You hear them whispering and speaking to one another as they all exit the underground to stand on a ledge overlooking the mountain. The barrier's been The bear had been at a cave entrance. There was a wide enough overlook that showcased the forest at the bottom of the hill and the city the rest at the edge of the forest. Tall skyscrapers climbing to the sky, each building bright with lights, and the monsters notice and point to look at it. Their voices getting louder, and then all go silent when the first crack of light peeks out from the horizon. No one speaks, no one moves. It is their first sunrise, and they watch in complete silence. When you look around and see many of them openly crying, their tears falling down their face, some have collapsed to their knees, holding their hands over their mouth to keep from weeping out loud. You smile, your own eyes burning. Yes, this is it. It's not a kill or kill world, it's a save will be saved world, and you saved them. Well done. When your ding whispers to you, you feel impressed against the top of your head in a manner similar to a kiss. Oh, that's right, your potential soulmate. You asked Sans, Papyrus, and Wingdings for their attention. What is it? Wingdings asked. You proudly held out your locket with it open. The brothers leaned forward to peer inside. What the fuck? Says Sans. I was not expecting that, admits Papyrus. So delightfully greedy, Wingdings said with great cheer. I expect nothing less. What the fuck? I am forced to acknowledge your superior intentions to court us. Papyrus coos with a curious head tilt. Having held your soul, I can verify your intentions, adds Wingdings. Sans's criminal eyes are fixated on the locket. This has to be a joke. No, it is not, says Wingdings. These two I get, says Sans. But me? And why not you? Papyrus' sockets narrow as he glowers at Sans. Sans glances away. I judged her. You what? Pardon, brother. You place a hand on Papyrus and Wingdings' arm. Both monsters turn to face you, their expression difficult to read. You firmly reassure them that you've already forgave Sans. You then step towards Sans and pull him into a tight hug. He stiffens. Twinkle, you remind Sans that you forgave him in Judgment Hall, and you've forgiven him now. You like him. You like Papyrus, you like Wingdings, and you want to be with all three of them, if they're open to it. Sans squirms in your arms, and he's about to pull away when Papyrus hugs you both. At once, Sans stills. Wingdings places a hand on both sides, and Sans back. It will not hurt to try, says Papyrus. Will it, brother? I'm not opposed to it, says Wingdings. Sans makes a strangle noise, a cross between a sigh and a groan. Okay, you Wing. Let's give our little freak show a shot. Yay! You're so happy you could pass out. Wait, actually, your vision doubles as you sway. You don't fall. As soon as you begin to sway, Sans hugs around your waist while Papyrus moves his hand up to support your upper back, and Wingdings chuckles. No need to force yourself to stay awake, dearest human. Yes, rest if you wish, says Papyrus. We can handle the rest from here, adds Sans. True happy ending, Harem route. Eek! We did it! Okay, so we're gonna go down here to find out, what has happened. Your journey, your struggle, none of it was in vain. You saved them, all of them. And you didn't make it out alone. The Gaster family moves to the surface right next door to you in your new home. As a VIP ambassador, you've moved into a magically secured home of your choosing in the city. Having 3 date mates turns out to be a great deal of fun. There is no jealousy between the brothers. Their bond is downright unshakable, so everything feels comfortable and easy. See? That's why this works, because if it was anyone else but Papyrus and Sans with Wingdings, then we would have had the problem of, Wingdings not liking them. Whoever is free will spend time with you, and is always the more merrier. Wingdings and Papyrus tend to keep busier, so you do see Sans the more often. However, both workaholics make it a point to set aside time for you a couple times in a week. It's always a grand time when all three of them are available. The 4 of you will make a night of it, either playing games, watching movies, or accidentally starting a fan war between Metatron and Shiren's fans. Papyrus is courteous and attentive, Wingdings is charming and eccentric, and Sans is a firecracker of affection. And you got a big enough heart and soul to love them all equally. You fit perfectly into their lives, a piece they never noticed was missing before. While you're happy to have your date mates, you also make sure to not lose touch with your friends you've made. Most notably, Azrael has been a huge part of your life. He became the new king of monsters and helps you integrate the two societies. You are dear friends at work and outside of it. He also gives the second best hugs. Wingedings, of course, is first in your heart. Yeah, I was really curious which of the brothers would be the one that gives you the most hugs, but I'm not surprised that it's Wingeding, seeing as Papyrus is still trying to work with being comfortable with that, whereas Sans kind of struggles a lot more with it, whereas Wingedings is all for the touchy-feel. You spend time with Tori and Asgo every so often, and Tori bakes you a special pie and loves to give you hugs. You hang out with Andai and honestly become the biggest supporter of your romantic adventures, and is looking forward to acting as the officiant. Oh yeah, she did say she was going to do that, didn't she? You're a semi-regular Metatron's new TV show on the surface, and you attend all of Shiren's concert. You're the first to buy her new albums, and you visit the school in the mountain with the monster kids started to attend. They enthusiastically introduced you to their new humans friends, and you had to talk them out trying to jump off of the waterfall with their new friends many times. You also meet up with the dogs every month for a game of poker, which you suck at a lot. Papyrus and Wingedings have expressed concerns for your inability to hold a poker face. Everything is as it should be, everyone is happy, and you're the reason for it. Thank you, Twinkle. Thank you for falling into Underfell. Thank you for showing them kindness. Thank you for staying determined, and thank you for being you. The end. Yay! We did it! That's the end of our adventure. That was the Harem route. Now, I don't know if the Harem route is eventually going to get a bonus scene, so if they does get a bonus scene, then I'm going to make sure that I save this onto my laptop. The saved file. Either way, that was a lot of fun, but yes, that was the Harem route. I'm so happy that I got it right to, like, go with my gut feeling that it had to be the skeletons. Because the biggest hint, as I said before, Flowey got jealous. It was made really apparent Flowey does not get along with Sans. Does not like him whatsoever. And it's clear a lot of the monsters don't like Sans. Whereas Gaster, Wingedings himself, actually confirmed that if it was anyone other than his two brothers, then yeah, it wouldn't have worked. So yay! We got the Harem out! That still leaves Ezreal's route to go.